Good morning to all. I am Seema Devi as an assistant professor in Shamsher Bahadur Saxena College of Law situated in Makdoli Kala, Rohtak. I am thankful to Shamsher Bahadur Saxena of College of Law to give me such kind of opportunity. Now I want to elaborate on Supreme Court of India. Supreme Court of India is guardian of the Constitution. It protects the fundamental rights of our citizens. If any organ of the government violate the fundamental rights, then the Supreme Court can declare the null and void this law. So Supreme Court of India protects the fundamental rights of our citizens. It is the third strong pillar of our constitution. So it is called the safeguard of our constitution. Composition of a constitution of Supreme Court of India. Now we will discuss the composition of the Supreme Court of India. Originally there was the 7 judges excluding the Chief Justice of India. In 1977 there was the 17 judges excluding Chief Justice of India. In 1986 there was the 25 judges excluding Chief Justice of India. At present, there are the 34 judges including Chief Justice of India. By Supreme Court Bill 2019, it was declared that there will be maximum limit of the 34 judges in Supreme Court of India. Then decided that maximum limit 34. So now there are the 34 judges in Supreme Court of India, including Chief Justice of India. Now comes to the appointment of judges of Supreme Court. First of all, we will discuss the position before the 99th Amendment Act. Then Article 124 clause 2 says that the President of India is not bound to consult any person in appointment of the Chief Justice of India, but in appointment of other judges of Supreme Court of India, the President of India is bound to consult the Chief Justice of India. Then there are the 3 important cases related to appointment of judges of Supreme Court of India. First case is judges transfer case first, and second is judges transfer case second, and third is judges transfer case third. The first of all we will discuss about the judges transfer case first. Judges transfer case first is related to that the President is requiring to consult the legal experts, but he is not bound by the advice of the legal experts. The second case is judges transfer case second. Judges transfer case second says that primacy should be given to Chief Justice of India in appointment of the judges of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice of High Court, other judges of the High Court. Now come to the third case, the judges transfer case third. In third case, it was decided that the Chief Justice of India is follow the consultation process. Consultation process means to consult the 4 senior most judges of the Supreme Court in appointment of the Supreme Court judges. When the Chief Justice of India follow the consultation process, then he will give his opinion to the President of India. Then after that, President of India will be bound by the consultation of the Chief Justice of India. Now comes to the next point. Next point is NJAC, National Judicial Appointment Commission. National Judicial Appointment Commission is appointed. This is the commission related to appointment of Chief Justice of India, Supreme Court judges, Chief Justice of High Court, other High Court judges. So all these provisions, there are a lot of members. We will discuss about the members of the National Judicial Appointment Commissions. The Chief Justice of India is the ex officio chairperson of the commission, and second is the 2 senior most judges of the Supreme Court. 2 senior most judges of the Supreme Court is the ex officio member of the commission, and Ministry of the Law and Justice is the ex officio member. Next point is the ex officio members are the appointed by the Prime Minister, Chief Justice of India, and leader of opposition of the house of the people. If there is no leader of the opposition of that, then by the leader of the single largest party of the opposition in house of the people. So one eminent person is appointed by that persons. And next is one eminent person is appointed from the backward class, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, women and backward classes. So all these are the members of the National Judicial Appointment Commission. Now come to the next point is the functions of National Judicial Appointment Commission. National Judicial Appointment Commission recommend the persons who will be appointed as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Judges of Supreme Court, Chief Justice of High Court and Judges of the High Court. And next point is to recommend the judges to transfer from one high court to another high court, and to recommend the persons according to his integrity and capacity. So all these persons are recommended by National Judicial Appointment Commission. But in 16th October 2016, it was declared unconstitutional. National Judicial Appointment Commission was declared unconstitutional. 2-decade-old collegium system was after that adopted. And at present, the appointment of judges of Supreme Court, Chief Justice of India, all these are appointed according to collegium system. Now come to the next point is the qualification of the judges of the Supreme Court. There are the following qualifications. He must be a citizen of India. He has been as a judge of the High Court for at least 5 years. He has been practicing lawyer for at least 10 years in High Court. He, in the opinion of the President, he must be a distinguished jurist. So all these are the qualifications for the appointment of Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and judges of the Supreme Court. Now come to the next point is the tenure and removal of the Supreme Court judges. Tenure. The tenure of the Supreme Court judges is the 65 years, but he may resign from his office by writing to the President before the 65 years is completed. So he may resign from his office by writing to the President. The next point is the removal of the judges of the Supreme Court. President may remove the judges of the Supreme Court by proved misbehavior and incapacity. मिसबिहेवियर एंड इनकैपेसिटी प्रूव होने के बाद जो है प्रेसिडेंट उनको रिमूव कर सकते हैं. बट इन दिस केस देयर इज नो डिस्क्रेशनरी पावर ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट. Discretionary power is not used by the President. He may address the both houses of the Parliament in same session. Then the address will be supported by majority of the both houses of the Parliament and not less than 2/3 of the members present and voting. After that, President may remove the Chief Justice and judges of the Supreme Court. So all these provision of the tenure and removal of the judges of the Supreme Court. Now come to the next point is the salaries and allowances of the Supreme Court judges. In 1986, the salary of Chief Justice of India is the 10,000 and judges of the Supreme Court was the 9,000. But in 1998, the salary of Chief Justice of India was the 33,000 and in other judges of Supreme Court was the 30,000. In 2009, the salary of Chief Justice of India was the 1 lakh rupees and other judges was the 90,000 rupees. But at present, salary of Chief Justice of India is the 2.8 lakh rupees and other judges of the 2.5 lakhs rupees. Now come to the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, there are the lot of kinds of the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Then the court of record, advisory jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, original jurisdiction, all these are the kinds of the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. The first of all, we will discuss about the court of record. A Supreme Court is the court of record. He has power to punish the person for its contempt. If the contempt of the court is there, then he can punish the person. It can punish the person. But the court of record means The record of the Supreme Court is used as a evidentiary value. If record is given in any court, there will be no question related to record of the Supreme Court. Record is used as an evidentiary value. So Supreme Court and the High Court record is a court of record. Now original jurisdiction. There will be original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court between the Government of India and one or more states. Second is Government of India, any state or states in one side and one state or another state in another side. And next is the between the two or more states. So to the Supreme Court directly. Now come to the appellate jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Appellate jurisdiction, four kinds of the appellate jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. The civil jurisdiction, criminal jurisdiction, constitutional jurisdiction, special leave to appeal. First है constitutional jurisdiction. The matters will go to the from High Court to Supreme Court in constitutional matters from the judgment, decree or final order by the High Court in any civil, criminal or other proceeding. The next point is if High Court certifies that it must be decided by the Supreme Court and it is a question of the interpretation of the Constitution, then directly will go to the Supreme Court of India by appeal. The next is the civil cases. In civil cases also we can go to the Supreme Court by appeal. The first is the if the High Court certifies that matter should be go to the Supreme Court by appeal, it is a substantial question of the law, is of general importance. Then all these matters we can go to the Supreme Court by civil appeal. Now comes to the criminal appeal. In criminal appeal, there are two kinds of the appeal, with certificate and without certificate. Then first of all, we will discuss without certificate and then we will discuss the with certificate. Without certificate, if the High Court convict a person in the death sentence, but order of the acquittal is given by lower court. Order of acquittal is given by lower court, but sentence of death is given by High Court. Then we can go to the Supreme Court without certificate of the High Court. The next point is if Supreme Court, if a trial is withdrawn by the High Court from the lower court, in which the sentence of death is given by the lower court, then we can go to the Supreme Court directly without the certificate of the High Court. And with certificate, if High Court certifies that it must be decided by the Supreme Court, then we can go to the Supreme Court. Special leave to appeal. Supreme Court has power to give the special leave to appeal. In any cases or in any matter, if in any court or in any tribunal in any territory of India, from any judgment, decree, determination, sentence or order. So from all these matters we can go to the Supreme Court by special leave to appeal. This is the special power of the Supreme Court. This is the only powers of the Supreme Court. Now advisory jurisdiction. Article 143 is related to advisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. If the President considers the matter is of the public importance, if matter is of the public importance, then President will go to the Supreme Court for his opinion. If Supreme Court gives an opinion, then President will not be bound by it. President will not be bound by it, but Supreme Court is bound to give the opinion to the President. If any fact or law is arise or is likely to arise, then we'll go to the Supreme Court. So this is the advisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Now come to the next point. How the independence of judiciary will maintained. How we will maintain the independence of judiciary? The first point is that security of the tenure. We will maintain the security of the tenure. Any person cannot remove the judges of the Supreme Court. The president has power to remove the judges of Supreme Court only in exceptional cases like proved incapacity or misbehavior, but by the majority of the parliament of both houses and not less than 2/3 majority voting when present. So by this voting, the president can remove the judges of the Supreme Court. The salary of judges are fixed, not subject to vote of the legislature. Salary of judges are fixed, not subject to vote of the legislature. It is charged on the consolidated fund of India. So we can say that the judiciary, independent of judiciary, will be maintained by the salaries. The third point is that separation of judiciary from executive. Article 50 says that states should take the steps to separate the judiciary from the executive. So we will maintain the independence of the judiciary. The next point is that there will be a prohibition on the practice after the retirement. The judges will not do practice after the retirement in any part of the territory of India. There is a prohibition on the Supreme Court judges that they will not participate in the practice after the retirement. So independence of judiciary will be maintained by this also. Next point is that now we will discuss the next point about the independence of the judiciary. Thus, there will be no conduct watching by the legislature. There will be no legislature interference by the conduct of the Supreme Court judges. If there is the work by the Supreme Court judges, then there will be no interference by the legislature. Now come to the next point is that there will be power of the Supreme Court judges to punish for its contempt. If there is a contempt by Supreme Court judges by any person, the Supreme Court has power to punish the person for its contempt. The Supreme Court judges are appointed by the executive, but by the advice of the legal experts. The Supreme Court judges are appointed by the executive, but by advice. So only executive has not this power to appoint the Supreme Court judges. So independence of judiciary will be maintained by this also. So this is all about Supreme Court. Thank you so much.